Hello there, Uber-Tube Rubers. I was going to show you the barrier fence. Stay out. This means you. Don't go there. Don't cross this line. What? If you look across the Rio there, I could zoom up a little bit. Kind of focused, I guess. That parking lot where I often do my park the car there, and go for a walk. There's a nice walking trail on that side. Well, that thing was so full I could hardly believe it. And across the street, on the Levee Road, there's another 25 cars. Now here I am across the Rio. I just want to show you this. My little truck's over there, but there's like 15 cars here. And I thought to myself, what the heck, is they having a county fair or what? And so I'm on the levee on the other side. So I decided, I guess we could title this one, Short Talk Near the Levee Road. Because I kind of like walking in this sandier. This is kind of a little RV road or something. I don't know who actually ever drives in here. Because without a key to get through that gate, we're in Elephant Butte Irrigation District land. Maybe their trucks come through here for some reason. I don't know. I think they occasionally crop back. Ooh, I forgot I was on Zoom. Probably making you guys sick. Hey, look at that. -5. Looks like it's far away. Sun. How about 1.4? Let's try that. So, as I was eating breakfast today, I went down to the pit stop and had me a real nice burrito: bacon, egg, cheese, chili, onion. Good burrito. And order a rye toast and then order a bacon on the side, you see. And so I had a little conversation on there with Jamie about whether it's possible to theoretically overdose on bacon. And we both agreed it would be very difficult to do, but might be worth a try. I like bacon, especially if it's cooked right. That Gary guy that cooks down there, he owns the place. He cooks it right, kind of crispy like. Floppy bacon. Whose idea was that? Bacon should not be rubbery. Thank you. And I was thinking today about how powerful it seems that images and symbols are these days in terms of this other world that's being propagated. Okay, right here I'm in the real world. This is called planet Earth. Living things are attached to it. There's speculation about whether this thing that we're walking on is actually an organism of some kind of a living thing. That seems rather speculative to me. There's even been ancient speculation that that big bright thing up there is someone you could talk to, an entity. Rupert Murdoch talks about that kind of stuff. He's a real interesting guy. If you ever like to think about science from a very different route, check out Rupert Murdoch. Interesting cat. I noticed, I believe it's Lily the duck. She came on board, and I said, "Hi there, Lily." And so I went and looked. She had a channel. I even subscribed, I think. And very interesting images. It's just one duck with glasses. It's just a little stuffed animal kind of thing, looks to me. And then there's like a sort of a punchy statement, like kind of like a one home run statement. You know, reminds me of Sammy Sosa. He was a great big guy, and he was a big time baseball. What do you call him? Home run hitter, I guess you call him. Yeah, he was pretty good. But boy, that guy could hit some long balls. But it's almost like, well, how'd the game go? I don't know. I saw Sammy took one swing, took the ball out of the park. But Lily the duck, she's aiming for that kind of style, I think. A kind of a one-punch deliver, boom. It's kind of an interesting view. But anyway, I was thinking about images and symbols today. And you know, there's symbols around us and there's symbols in us. And of course, you have to use symbols all the time. Otherwise, you couldn't even talk. Words are symbols. And like say, I say the word trailer. Well, mobile home might do, but we named it. That's not what it is. That's our name. The thing that it is that white thing and brown thing over there where people live. That's the thing. Our word is not the thing. But at any rate, we have to use words all the time. You have to use symbols and images and stuff. So in a kind of normal human world where things are moving at the speed of life, L-I-F-E, not the speed of light, things are happening too fast in this other world that they're busy creating, that they want you to move into full time. They're trying to get you immersed, whoever they are, these evil bastards. They're trying to get you so immersed in an internet Webian type of connectivity that for you, and I think this is true perhaps even of some young people already, that is their normality. They're not in their real world until they're logged in or jacked into a game or connected into a chat or viewing TikTokeries and Xeries, listening, watching YouTubian and Facebookian stuff. And I don't even know how many platforms there are. Really, I only subscribe to this one and to Facebook. And I do have a channel on Facebook, if you want, or a page, I guess they call it. You can go look me up over there. I think my profile picture over there is a sunrise, but I can't remember. Or sunset, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, little pungent statements, you know. So I like playing with words and using words, and I love puns and double meanings, dual valence language, you know, where you have, that's where a lot of sexual humor kind of originates, in its kind of dual meaning function of certain words and phrases. And so I was thinking in terms of, as we kind of stroll along here in life, we're being asked to make a decision. Do you want to be part of the real world, here where plants grow and crops grow, and we hope somewhere crops that are not genetically modified? They're doing so much of that stuff now. They're putting junk in every kind of food. It's showing up in water, whatever it is. It's kind of like, hey, we keep producing too much garbage. What do you want to do with it? Well, let's put it in the food. Oh, good idea. Get rid of it. And get rid of people too. And again, we're back to it. It's sort of like the insane plan to murder Mother Earth. Whose idea was that? And who wins there? That's devilish. That's not even an alien from outer space could think of that. And that's what they're going to plan to spring on us, see? But you have to be jacked into the cyber universe to hear it. They're going to pull whoever they are. There will be a great big fake involving something called UFOs. And I don't know when or where, but the point is that in order for such a fake out to work, you have to have people who are engaged and seeing things really mainly through the web, or perhaps exclusively so. You know, no eyewitnesses at all, but simply viewership. And that phony baloney constituted sort of thin gruel of reality is what they're asking you to prepare to jump into. It's kind of like the Neolithic man leaping into Homo sapiens sapien in one big leap. It's supposed to be kind of an evolutionary jump. And I think it's an evolutionary dump, if you want my opinion. But it's kind of nice on this side of the Rio. I just got to thinking, I'd probably be miserable if I was over there, because people running up and down the trail and all that. There's probably still bikers out there. I like being alone. If I'm out walking, that is. So symbols and symbols. There's a symbol for you. We might call it your name. Say your name is Bob or Sally or Ed or Charlene. I don't know. Oh, by the way, Ray Stevens is at it again. I saw him. I like Ray. He used to make make kind of satire kind of songs and kind of just fun stuff. They used to play on the radio years and years ago. I think one of his big ones was The Streak from a long time ago. You listen to it sometime. Well, that guy's still around, still creating. And I watched the video. It's about 3 minutes. And clever little thing and it right in line with Ray's humor. And he's talking about the name of the thing is when Bubba changed his name to Charlene. And it's about this guy who, just by virtue of being male for some reason, which makes no sense, he goes in and beats all the female swimmers because he decides to identify. Bubba identifies as Charlene, you see. So he takes state and nationals or whatever in swimming events. Well, that doesn't, the Bubba they chose, I mean, this guy's this big round guy, just a white guy, and it's like those girls would beat him without even hardly getting in the water. I mean, never mind. But it's kind of a humorous tone. But the symbols here that we are surrounded with, where men can willy-nilly become women and vice versa, or something other that neither identifies as a male or a female. Frankly, that's the sound, the death rattle of an empire dying. The same kind of nonsense, the same kind of lies crop up over and over again historically. You could find the same kinds of concessions to perversion and all kinds of disgusting moral kind of cataclysms occurring willy-nilly because of essentially the will to live for the Republic has died. The Republic is dead. And this is the sound of the chaos of that thing going to the kind of the grave of history. Before empires crash, they often wax very perverse sexually, getting involved with all kinds of, necromancy and astute violations of the sacred. In other words, they know too much, and it's destroying them. And so we're being called by symbols back to the real world also. Now, there is this thing called the Bible. You might want to look at it sometime. Read it while you're there. And in terms of the symbols it portrays for us, it's a new thing. It's a living thing. There's really... my hand's getting numb. That left arm. Darn thing. That left shoulder is talking to me. Getting old, I guess. And so as we walk along, the symbols that are appearing before us in terms of this cyber digital universe are that you can kind of immerse yourself in it, and kind of by adding a kind of boost, a cyber boost to, say, your IQ or to your memory or to your personality, I don't know. They want to be able to dip right into your frontal lobes, I guess, with wires and chat with you directly. You wouldn't need a device like this here phone I'm using right now. You could just tap in and think it in your head. I guess you could Google stuff by just thinking it. I don't know. But see, the thing is, it's obvious that such a pattern, if it existed, would have to include the idea of read/write, W-R-I-T-E. In other words, if they can read your coded mental signals, convert them to data transmit stuff, have an emergent answer of a quantized digital function coming back to you so that you are now informed, they can write anything they want onto your mind. You have given up sovereignty over your body, and you've given up sovereignty over your mind in order to participate in a phony world. The digital world is crashing soon. And when the grid goes down, the web goes down. Boom, done. And so we have to understand that the Bible was written in that other world where there was no digital web available. There was only lies. It was truth versus lies. In our time, it's one real world versus a phony, baloney doppelganger world where everything can be digitally faked. So in other words, if you want to have a fake Joe Biden, you don't even need to go hire an actor. The whole thing can be done on screen. As long as it occurs on screen with no eyewitnesses, you can have the machine add the witnesses as an audience if you'd like. It doesn't matter. So the images that you're seeing on the interweb, including perhaps this one, everything's suspect. Everything must be verified by 2 or 3 eyewitnesses. Otherwise, all we got is rumors and propaganda. So you're being bombarded day in and day out with crises, and crisis upon crisis. And it's like watching dominoes go down. Boom, boom, boom. They're all connected. And what's at the bottom of all this is this murderous, perverse, sexual junk that bigwigs in DC and in Hollywood appear to be deeply involved in. And by the way, Epstein did not commit you know what. He did not off himself. And the people on that list, not one of them have been prosecuted or even accused by a grand jury. Where'd the list go? Whatever happened to his girlfriend? Did she just like shut up or what? Or did she tell everything she knows and they told her something that she better be quiet? I don't know. But we're surrounded by this deep ugliness in the culture. I'm going to be doing some work this week coming up. It's one of these places where they have refugees, they call them. All these people flooding across the border. It's kind of like a small prison camp, and it's here in town. I didn't even know it was there. I think there's a couple of hundred people in there. So I'm working on some kitchen sink stuff because it doesn't meet code for the health inspector, which makes sense. This thing never would have been approved in the first place. I don't know what they were thinking, so I guess it'd been kind of worked on under the radar in the past. And now all of a sudden the health department says, well, we ain't giving you a certificate to get this plumbing in shape. And but where do all these people come from? Well, everywhere. You might think Mexico, but not necessarily. There's people crossing from almost every nation through Mexico. Someone's organizing that. Someone's making money. And the people who are coming here are being robbed blind on the way. Then they're dumped at the border. Bye. Don't worry, the gringos will take care of you. And by and large, I guess the gringos do. So we're looking at this weird charity operation, which is when you walk in, I don't know if these guards are armed, but they look like cops. You know, they're dressed in cop suits, and I don't know, or cop-like suits. I don't know if it's some federal thing or what. Who are these people? And but the symbols that are around us are trying to woo you away from something. Woo you away from... Look at them birds in flight. You gotta love that. I love watching birds go. Them little rascals. I can't really imagine having that much energy. But anyhow, think it over some. I'm going to walk some further after this, but I don't need to record all over it because I haven't really got much more to say other than in terms of the symbols, there's a central symbol which is calling you. You might call it the symbol of the cross. You might call it the Good Shepherd. You might call it the door which is open. You might call it the stairway to life. You might call it the olive tree, the living tree. Or you might call it like a river which flows. At the center is Him. At the center is the living one who causes these to be. And He's communicating to you through images, through symbols. Hear His word. Sense His presence. See what marvels He has made in this world. And it's a little bit along those lines. I was just thinking, you got two symbol packages, one living, one dead. One sounds like a can of, transmission parts being dropped downstairs, and the other is beautiful music. But we have a hard time making up our mind which one we want. That's weird. Now, I think we need the one where life lives, because that other place, the digital world where they're trying to send you, eventually what they'd like to do is to sort of capture your mind, in a way, through some kind of mind download, don't ask me, and then have that downloaded into a robot, and you'd wake up inside a machine. That's what they're talking about, which is frankly insane. Besides being impossible, I'm quite sure. But at any rate, souls and spirits aren't captured like that on data streams. No. Data streams were the invention of spirits and souls, and they are not subject to it in that way. Nor can they be duplicated. You can't create life that way either. What if you had, what if you had a download of someone who's super popular and super smart? Say maybe Elon Musk. Why not make 1,000 copies in that case? Why not make 10 million? Why not make all humans simply iterations of Musk? Because that's insane and it's ungodly. So there's a world calling you through symbols, and then there's symbols that call you to a new world. And in that new world, you realize the symbols are real. That what was at the bottom of symbols, the symbol of moving water, the symbol of clean, clear blue air, the symbol of light, all of the magnificent symbols of birds in flight and plants rooting down, and humans thriving amid it all. The symbol is we're being called into a new life, called into a new world. And this old world here, sorry to say, is going to soon be fuel for the fire. As far as I can tell, the way the Bible teaches, this whole thing's burning up. Everything you see, them hills right there too. Yeah, a lot of Christians don't go there. And if challenged on it, I think most people would rather simply not comment on whether that's a future iteration of what prophecy teaches, or whether that's just Mike Labor making up stuff. And so they simply don't answer. It's kind of like, halt the process. I'm simply stalling. I'm not going to answer. And so the symbol of life can also be scary. The symbol of truth really ought to scare the crap out of you once you understand that we're being held 100% responsible for all of our thoughts, words, and deeds, every one of them. And if there is not equity paid, if there's not righteousness done, we become the payee. We can't afford it. No one could. When justice comes and the judge sits and the gavel strikes, there's no getting away from it. Evil is over. Evil will be wiped out completely. But the sons of the covenant, the children of his promise, God's children, as he calls them, made so by adoption, they are just now at that big point of their beginning to burst into full tilt, active life. Up until then, all through our lives, we're basically kind of like embryonic almost. I mean, yes, we have life. Yes, we're participating in the kingdom. And yet we're still so wobbly and small and make errors only 9 million times a day. And that's on a good one. And I'm just going to sit down for a minute. Guess I'm getting old. I think I'll invert the camera here and... Hey, I made it. Go invert the camera. Strategically fire up a stogie if I could find a cigarette lighter. And sign off and bid you bye-bye. I was just kind of floating around in my head here a little bit this morning, thinking, the way the symbols are working around us. We didn't want to capture that moment of actually lighting up a stogie on film because there's children present, right? I don't think even kids care. But hey, how do you like them new glasses? That's the other pair of news. I got the other ones make me look like kind of like a bug or an alien or something. These ones here, you see how sharply it forces my head in? So my eyes are never the right size. There you go. So there's the old guy. And I was just sitting there thinking that symbols, the way we use them and the way we abuse them, we forget lots of times that he himself portrays himself through symbols. And yet in symbols, he is made real. So you got to be careful with words. And I don't mean be careful like be afraid to speak. I mean you have to use them wisely and correctly. Because words have powerful symbolic attract, and there's spiritual meaning involved. Sometimes people are, I believe, actually summoning wicked spirits through the symbols they're employing, and they don't even know it. Then they wonder about the results. Kind of like, well, what did you order? Well, we ordered squid. Why did you order squid? You don't like squid. I don't know. How do you like it? I don't like it. Then why'd you order it? I don't know. And so people end up getting into symbols which draw into their lives evil magic or demonic powers or witchcraft or the occult tragedy, which is just a train wreck across the board. as celebrating the father of lies? I think not. That dude's history. And when you come right down to it, the symbol is life, the symbol is death. I think C.S. Lewis said, at the end of things, really you could simplify it, there's only one of two faces. One, the face would, and I hope I get this right, one, the face that you had hoped for beyond hope all your life and just now realized it. Yes, that's him. That's the one I've been looking for. That's my father. And, or the other would be a face that when you saw it in kind of loathing and disgust, you would turn away and think, no human could ever truly desire that. It's hideous beyond compare. And it's damned, D-A-M-N-E-D, to hell. And then hell itself gets thrown into the lake. Consider it double burnt, double cooked. But anyhow, he wins big time. But in this, he has presented symbols of life to us. We must partake of them and we must use them. Use your words wisely and say true things. Say true things to yourself too. Don't lie to yourself. Don't start there. But when you speak, you're actually spreading the new world. You're causing that cyber world to recede. You're causing the kingdom of light to expand, at least around you temporarily. And it's something to drive back. And when we all work together in seeking light and he above, all of that cyber digital junk will die due to lack of interest. This is way more interesting and real. So you guys take care. Have everything that needs to be done. Take care of all the details. And then hopefully you can get some time to sit down like me. It's kind of nice just sitting in the sunshine. Have a good day and bye-bye.